Hi, my name's Wayne Cito. I'm one of the Master Instructor Trainers from Merrithew. I'm one of the clinical instructors for our Stop Players Rehab program. So joining me today is Saulo from Brazil. He's one of our instructor trainers there. And I'll be taking you through an exercise called foot press on Longbox with rotational disc. It comes from our RCCB course, Module 2, which focuses on the peripheral joint. So you can see that this exercise is a great progression from your supine exercises that are loaded in the Reformer course that we teach. And what's nice about this one here is that we have an unstable surface for the left foot, so it's going to really focus on that ankle control. By coming into a slightly unloaded step, it doesn't support his body weight as much, so it's going to force the patient to actually put a little bit more weight bearing through this left leg. So really important for that lateral sling. So you're looking at your glute med. You're going to see oftentimes with things like osteoarthritis, they'll have that subclinical weakness through the glute med. So it's a great way to just try to retrain that lateral sling. Okay, so from here, what's going to happen is that in terms of the start position, we want to try to have the feet as if they were standing on a regular surface. So you want to have the feet underneath the sits bones. Okay, a couple of things you want to pay attention to is you want to mark out the ASISs. Okay, so what we don't want to see happening here is the most common mistake is that they go into this Trendelenburg, which is showing that weakness through that left side. So we want to see that hip nice and level. Okay, we want to see a little bit of weight shift so that the foot does go towards the midline, but not beyond the midline at all. Okay, and then we want to make sure that the patella is tracking in line with the second and third toe. Okay, so what the movement pattern will be is that he's going to inhale to just bend that left knee, keeping that pelvis level, okay? And you can see he's working quite hard through that glute med, and then exhale, come back to return. Good. And again, inhale, we lower down. We're going to be looking at the tracking through the legs. So we're going to be looking at adductor, abductor. Can it keep the leg in line with that foot? Okay. Important for stepping and walking type tasks for sure. Okay. And then we're going to come back up. What we can do here, so we add a little bit more into the rehab course, is that we can then start to mobilize the lateral rotation a little bit, okay, so to work the deep stabilizers of the hip. So what Salah's going to do is going to come down halfway, okay. By forcing him into this slight bent knee position, the vasti group have to work a little bit harder than your stabilizers of the knee, okay, and then all we're going to do is we're going to go into lateral rotation. It's going to exhale, laterally rotate, and then return. So we want the movement to come from the hip joint, so that knee is always tracking with the toes, okay? So you can see how this is an excellent progression of the rotational disc exercise that we teach in the Reformer 1 course, where we're focusing on that stabilization through the central bones. Now we're focusing on your peripheral joints through here. Okay, so just gonna do 2 more. Exhale to reach out, and then return, okay? One of the things that you often see as a mistake is, again, check out the ASIS. You'll often see that the hip is dropped. One thing that can be helpful is imagery where you get them to try to almost sink or push the hip under is quite helpful, okay? What you don't want to see that's often is a hiking working through the QL here. Oftentimes what you'll see is that it will be a quick motion, and then you often get a side bend happening through the spine. So you want to have a look, pubic bone, belly button and sternum through here, okay? Okay, and then it's going to lift up. In terms of the tracking, okay, you often see excessive medial lateral sway of the knee. So as he bends down, you'll see that oftentimes the foot will excessively pronate, and they'll go into adduction, and they'll carry a lot of stress through the ligaments through here, or even through the meniscus laterally as well. Okay, a couple of ways that you can focus on correcting that is get them to feel the weight bearing. So the weight bearing should be between the big toe, little toe, okay, and through the calcaneus. So we think of it as a tripod of support that he wants to maintain throughout the whole exercise. Okay, so that's the foot press on Longbox. Thank you for joining me.